Do you welcome people like Lord Howard and also Michael Fallon, Defence Secretary, taking an apparent strong stance against any idea of the UK losing control of Gibraltar?
Well, I think Spain seriously miscalculated if they thought that this was not going to be the stance taken by all shades of political opinion represented in the House of Commons. The staunch defence of the people of Gibraltar is what we would expect from the United Kingdom. It's exactly what is there. And I think the rest of Europe may be looking on aghast at what it is that Spain has brought about by including this unnecessary and unfair part of one of the draft guidelines that has made its way into Mr. Tusk's document.
What does this Spanish veto effectively mean then, as far as you understand it?
Well, in terms of what it effectively means, the answer is that it's what people voted for. In other words, when people voted to leave the European Union, there was going to have to be a renegotiation with the institutions of the EU and with the member states that remain, the 27, and each of them was in effect going to have a veto on what is known as a mixed agreement. And that's what the new agreement, the new trade deal between the United Kingdom and the EU is going to be. So no surprises there and no change simply because Spain has been extracted out of the 27 and given a prominent role which it has requested in the context of these guidelines. But I suppose the Maltese and the Irish and other allies of the United Kingdom and the European Union must be asking themselves, what have they let themselves in for by including this draft guideline?
Why are you so against the idea of Spain having more influence? You're very close to Spain geographically. Why do you think it would hurt your interests so much?
I think it's exactly the same as the idea that the City of London might be handed over to Germany or half of Manchester.
It's not exactly the same, though, is it? It's not exactly the same, because the City of London is right in the centre of the landmass of Britain.
No, hang on a minute. Frankly, it would gut my soul if my hometown was somehow divided in the sovereignty of it, given to somebody who is not Her Majesty the Queen and not the British people of Gibraltar. And it would gut your soul if any part of the United Kingdom was in a similar way and had title of it handed over to any other power which was not the United Kingdom. And we won't stand for it.
Are you worried? Are you worried that obviously within weeks of triggering Article 50, we're already talking about war with our neighbours? Do you fear what that means for the whole negotiation process?
I'm not worried because the people of Gibraltar don't pay me to be worried. They pay me to get on with ensuring that we deliver the best possible deal for Gibraltar as the Prime Minister delivers the best possible deal for the United Kingdom. And I don't think this is an issue which will take us to war. I think this is an issue which we have to keep at the forefront of the negotiating process. We mustn't allow Spain, as some were suggesting, to bring this issue up at 5 minutes to midnight when the deal had mostly been done for the United Kingdom, and this might derail it. Well, thankfully, Spain has been foolish enough to play what it might regard as its ace at 5 minutes past midday when the negotiation has not yet begun. And it's right, therefore, that we should be put on inquiry that these things are happening. And the Prime Minister has been very clear, as have other ministers, not about issues relating to war and all the rest of it. Nobody wants to think of those issues in Europe today. What we want to think about is how we're going to deal with the negotiation and deliver the best possible deal for a truly global Britain and a truly global British Gibraltar.
Were you disappointed Theresa May didn't put it in that original letter?
Not at all. I mean, the issue is not about what goes in the letter or doesn't go in the letter. Gibraltar is tangentially referred to by reference to the white paper. We are included as part of the negotiation. This was not a 100-page letter, which would, if it had been, have included references to Gibraltar. The issue now is how we deal with the fact that Spain has raised it so early on in this process. And look, Gibraltar wants to be engaged in a dialogue with Spain and the other 26 remaining member states of the European Union. We want to have a good, long-lasting relationship. We have 12,000 people who live in Spain who cross the frontier every day. It's in their interest that Gibraltar form part of the dialogue that's going to be taking part now. But imagine what the Spanish government has done to them. The Spanish government is in effect saying any new worker that may come from Spain to Gibraltar after the United Kingdom leaves the European Union is not going to be covered by any aspect of this process. They're not going to enjoy the benefits of social security contributions they might make in Spain. In Gibraltar, sorry. They're not going to have the benefits of all the other facilities that workers have when they work in a European market. That's what Spain's doing to its own people. Talk about cutting your nose to spite your face.